Hello guys, I hope you're staying safe. I want to welcome you to this class, and today I'm going to try to add as much value as I can to your life. If you're one of those guys that are looking for a job and you're having problems finding a job, well, today is your lucky day. Grab your pen and pencil, and this is a video that's going to really add value to your life, okay? This is all about 6 powerful ways that you can get a job. Okay, I've been in the doing employment for almost forever, about 25 years. And today I just wanted to do something to add value to your life. Okay, like I said, grab your pen, grab your pencils, and let's get started. You know, getting a job is not an accident. Okay, there's a system to it. And what I'm going to do today is, from my years of experience and reading so much in the field, I'm going to give you an idea of the things that you should do, okay, to be able to get that job that you really want. Number one, these are the things that we're going to go through. These are the things that I have filtered out that I think are the most powerful things that you have to do to get a job. Number one, I'll really say resume, interview, being unique, reaching back out, negotiating salary, and setting goals. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to reverse it a little bit and talk about goals first. You see, in life, the reason why I am where I am today is because of setting goals. If you want to achieve anything in your life, you have to set goals. So the question is, how do you set goals? You set employment goals when you're looking for a job. A 30-day goal, 60-day goal, 90-day goals. And in these goals, what you want to do is, in goals, you have to specify exactly what you want. And you got to set the time frame. That's the 2 most powerful things. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's just say in about 30 days, okay, you want to get a job in your field. Just write it down and say, in 30 days, I will be working. That's the way you do it. I will be working in my field doing this. Write everything that you want down. Okay, that's how you set goal. And what you do is you write this on an index card, put it in front of your mirror, your bedside, anywhere you look at all the time. Put it there, and every single time in the morning before you go to anywhere you're going, or before you go to bed at night, read those goals aloud so that you can physically hear them and put emotions in it. Okay, that's how it's effective. When you do this, it's like something, it's like God puts an angel on your shoulder that guides you to do the things that you have to do to get those goals. And another thing is that when you set goals, your priorities change, okay? And start to lead you towards that you really want. Okay, that's it for setting goals. Secondly, we're going to talk about resumes. One of the most powerful things in a job search is your resume. Resume is actually what brings you into the fold. So in other words, your resume should be a reflection of you. Your resume should be like me closing my eye and saying to myself, look, who is this? When I read your resume, I should be able to visualize who you are. So your resume has to be very, very powerful, okay? Especially if you divide your resume into 3, the first part of your resume towards the top, okay, what every recruiter is looking for is to go exactly, get a job summary on you, get a quick snapshot of what you have done and what you are. That top part of your resume is what you should really concentrate on. And if you concentrate on that, and you have your name, your address, and the phone number and everything. And another thing I want to tell you, that the LinkedIn profile is becoming very, very powerful. So I want you to go to LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn page right now, go and get one. And in that page, you have to write all your qualifications. You have enough space to write whatever you want to write in the LinkedIn profile. So that most of the people checking you out for a job, they'll go to your LinkedIn profile and they'll take a look at your profile and everything like that. And that's where they're going to get a little bit more information about you. So if you cannot write your LinkedIn profile, find somebody who is a little bit more knowledgeable writing a LinkedIn profile. But it's nothing. It's just your profile, what you've done, and it's the same thing as the resume. So on the top of your resume, what you want to do is, tell the whoever is looking at your resume what you've done, how you did it, what you achieved. And when you're doing this, put numbers in, because numbers tell somebody that, it's clear. When you say something like, I worked in a company and we were able to come up with a software that saved us about $400,000, okay? And that led to the company having a profit of 1.5 million, something like that. Okay, you have to be specific when you're doing that, okay? Just like setting your goals, you have to be specific in every single thing you do. That is why when I look at thousands of resumes, when I look at the resume and from the top, and I cannot see exactly what I'm looking for, I toss the resume. The next thing we want to talk about is the ATF system, automatic tracking system. Majority of the resumes that you send to big companies or even small companies, some of the small companies that I represent. So what we want to do is, we screen the resumes. And what you want to do in this case is do what I call construction and deconstruction. Okay? Construction and deconstruction is nothing but going into different sites, pull about 6 job postings, and then you dissect those job postings. You dissect it by going through every job posting and listing out on a sheet of paper what they are looking for. After you go through all the job postings, then you see the similarities. When you see the similarities, these are the things that you need to use to write your resume, because in your field, there's a lingo in your field, and most of the people in your field are looking for almost the same thing. So right now, what I want to do is, I'm going to hop on my computer and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hello. So welcome to the deconstruction and construction. In this construction and deconstruction, what I essentially want you to know is that when you're writing your resume, one of the most powerful things that you can do, like I said, is construction and deconstruction. And deconstruction means you get about 6 ads from like Indeed, monster.com, all these different sites that they post jobs. And what you want to do is get about 6 ads and deconstruct them. What I mean this is get a sheet of paper, write every ad down, and then make sure you write down every single requirement, okay? Then after that, you look at all the ads, all the requirements. This is essentially what you will need to write an effective resume. Regardless of what field that you're in, when you get all this information in, that is what you need to plug into your resume, okay? To be able to write an effective resume so that you don't get rejected by the ATF tracking system. So let's just go in. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I've selected a job right here, an IT job. And if you go through this IT job, you see that there are so many different requirements, okay? I've selected, what you want to do, take a piece of paper and write everything down. So I've selected ERP experience from here. So I'm going to copy it, go to YouTube, and plug it in. And when I plug it into YouTube, I'm going to search for it. Now, the key here is, in your field, every single similarities that you have, if you have in every field, most of the requirements are basically the same. So what you need to do is get all the requirements and plug it into your resume. Now, if you have some requirements that you're not familiar with or that you feel like you're not strong in, okay, there are 2 things you can do. You can either leave it out or you can still put it in your resume. But when they ask you, do you have experience? And they just say, I have a little experience. But if you say you have a little experience, one thing they will want to find out from you is what kind of experience, how much experience do you have? So what you want to do is, for example, I have ERP experience here. I'm not a technical guy, so I don't know what it means. So if you see on YouTube here, I have pulled ERP experience, okay? All you have to do is go to YouTube, and you have so many tutorials here. So what I want you to do is make sure you go through about 15 to 20 hours of tutorial and listen to about 3 or 4 people explaining the same thing. And after you do that, what's going to happen is that you're going to have to understand the lingo a little bit better. You're going to be a little bit stronger. And so that if somebody asks you questions on this, you can be able to answer that question effectively. So it's not going to look like you haven't done it or you don't have any experience or, you know, something like that. But that is the way you do construction and deconstruction. And so when you, another thing is, if when you go to your interview and they ask you a question about that, you tell them, I'm not very strong in this, I haven't done it a lot, but I have a little experience in it. And if they actually ask you a question on that, you can be able to talk. You can be able to talk about the system, or about the software, or about whatever they ask you. So that is it about, you know, construction and deconstruction, and going to YouTube and getting some experience on some of the things that you're not very, very familiar with. Okay, let's get back on the board. Okay, welcome back. You see, when you deconstruct your the job postings, after you deconstruct them, then you pull out all the information you want. That's what you use to write your resume. Okay, and if you do this, you see a remarkable increase in your interview rate. So that is how, if you do that, then you give yourself a better chance to at least get in the door. Because what your resume is supposed to do is get you into the door before they even start to talk to you. So the next thing we want to talk about the interviews. You know, there's so many different kind of interviews. Some people, majority of the time when I'm interviewing somebody, the first thing I'm going to do is call them on the phone and get a feel of who they are. You know, when somebody calls you on the phone and you say, hello, yeah, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. First of all, they're checking you out to see if you're the bill collector, you know? And even when they know you're not the bill collector, the next thing they want to check you out is they're not even enthusiastic. They're not even enthused at the fact that you're calling them and considering them for a job. And a lot of times, this happens to me so many times. I use it to rate people. A lot of times, if somebody is not coming across to me with enthusiasm and with energy, okay, a lot of times I'll say, hey, I'll call you back. I never call them back. Because that's the first impression. First impression is so powerful, okay? So majority of the time, that's what majority of people are going to do. These days, you know, they'll go to your LinkedIn profile, they'll call you on the phone to get a feel of the way you talk and everything, even though the LinkedIn profile will show your face. But you have to have energy in everything you do, okay? And then the next thing you want to do is, after you talk to them, okay, they call me, hello. I say, hello, I'm this from this person. You say, well, are you Ralph? I say, yes, I'm Ralph. Well, thank you very much for calling me, you know. And they'll start to ask you questions. And when you answer the questions brilliantly. Don't talk over them. So when they're asking you a question, don't talk. And as soon as they finish asking you the question, you know, you can talk and answer the question for them. But as soon as you finish writing your resume and you send your resume out, the next thing you want to do is expect these kind of calls, because you will get them. Especially if your resume is good, you will get them. So what you want to do is be enthusiastic whenever they call you. So after they call, if they set you up for an interview, so the next thing you want to do is, before they drop the phone and ask you, when can you come in so you can talk to us or something like that, one thing you have to do is make sure you get the right information. Make sure you get the name of the person who's going to be interviewing you. Make sure you get the name of the company. Make sure you get as much information as you can from the company. And so the day of the interview, always try to see if you can get at least 2 days to the interview date. That gives you some time to do some research. I'm looking at you straight out, and I'm telling you, if you go to an interview without preparation, it's like me going, I make speeches all the time. It's like me going to make a speech without preparation. I'm telling you, you will not do good. But when you prepare for an interview, it raises your confidence, you're prepared, and you know there's probably nothing they're going to ask you that you don't know already. So what do you do to prepare? You research the company, Okay? After you decide the company, when was the company formed? Who is their CEO? What kind of products do they have? You go on and on and on and recite the company properly. After you recite the company properly, the next thing you want to do is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Do you know that about 91% that they say statistic of people who go to an interview don't even prepare for an interview? Okay, one of my bitches is in the medical field, and I interview a ton of doctors. And I can tell you, a lot of doctors, you'll be surprised that these are doctors. I'm not taking anything from doctors. They're very intelligent people. But they do not prepare for an interview. They be mumbling and everything like that, you know. And so, and it happens to a lot of people that I interview. I interview people for Fortune 500 companies, and people come into, I mean, I'm talking about people who earn $150,000 to $300,000 a year. They come to an interview without preparation. So it's very crucial that you prepare, okay? And one of the powerful ways to prepare is to use your cell phone, film yourself, have somebody ask you questions, you know. Tell me about yourself. Why are you leaving your last job? You know, so many questions that they can ask you. I'm not going to go into that, but they can ask you these questions and see how you answer them. So when you answer them, you can go back and look at it and say, well, I didn't answer this well. And one thing I want to tell you is that everything boils down to, what does the company want from you? What does the company want from you? They want you to give them value, solve a problem for them. And as soon as you can convince them that you can solve this problem, you're hired. So that's the way it is, okay? Thirdly, I want to talk about being unique. You know, when you go to an interview, sometimes I interview about 30, 40 people. And after some time, I get so confused. So, but the only thing I remember, I'm just giving you the only thing I remember is somebody who did something to me that separated themselves from everybody else. Now the question is, what do you do? One of the things that you can do is, as the interview is winding down, one thing you could do is you might be able to get a little personal. Oh, how long have you been working with this company? I think it's a wonderful company. And from there, a lot of things that really, really grab people is personal things. Something like somebody, let's just say, let me give you an example. Somebody is a football fan. Okay, I am a basketball fan. I love Michael Jordan. So when I interview people at the end and we talk a little bit, and I say, you know, you can ask somebody, you know, what kind of sports do you like? One thing you have to do is always be in support. Okay, always be in support. What kind of sports do you like? Where are you from originally? Okay, somebody like me that has an answer. Somebody will ask me, well, people ask me, where are you originally from? Okay, I'll answer them, I'll answer the question, and that might lead to something else. And this is the way I will remember the person. Oh, that person asked me about this. We talked about basketball and things like that. That's how you make yourself a little unique, and that's how your interviewer is going to remember you. Okay, let's talk about reaching back. You know, I interview thousands of people, and one of the things I really appreciate about people, let me give you this. One time I interviewed like 50 people for one job, and only about 4 of them reached back to me to say, well, thank you for taking time to interview me and everything like that. And after interviewing these people, I was so confused. I didn't even know, I didn't know really who to hire, because it seemed like everyone was qualified. But you know what? Those people that reached back out to me, wrote me an email, sent me a thank you card. I called all of them back, and I was able to pick one out of them. So always reach back. Send a thank you note, send a thank you letter, send an email to say thank you. And when you send an email to say thank you, reinforce your qualifications. That's the key. Every time you say thank you, reinforce your qualifications. That's what's going to get you hired. I'm sorry. Let's talk about salary negotiations, okay? Do you know that anytime you're offered a job, that means that you're one of the best. They've gone through so many people and they zeroed in on you and they want to hire you. And you're not kind of twisting their leg. You're not trying to play hardball or anything like that. But there are so many soft ways that you can get what you want. And what you want to do is they offer you the salary. What you want to do is say, thank you so very much for the opportunity. Okay? I'm sure with my qualification and my experience, I'm going to do an excellent job for you. Then what you want to do is say, well, you know, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. I did this in this company. This is the kind of result we achieved. So you look them straight in the eye and say, well, can you people do better than this? Regardless of what they offered you, can you people do better than this? Let me tell you something. This is so powerful that I've had people. I had a lady that was, she was offered, I think, 35 or something like that. And after they thought, they offered 39, you know? And so when you say, especially when you interviewed well and they know that you're qualified, they don't want to lose you when they know that you're qualified. So, and you're not trying to play hardball on it. All you have to do is, can you guys do better? So the ball is in their court at that time. That, I guarantee you, if you do that, you will see a change, okay? So these, I think we've talked about goal, we talked about resume, interview, being unique, reaching out, reaching back, salary negotiations, and then we talk about goals. So if you do these things just the way I've told you, you will see the doors start to open up. If you're somebody who hasn't been getting a job, you'll see the doors open up. Now, I have a course that dives really deep into every aspect of this. Okay, we sell the course for $299. But because of the pandemic and so many things that's happened, my staff have convinced me, let's just run a special so everybody who wants a job can get a job. Bottom line. And we have brought that cost down to $47. Okay? Because I know that people that are looking for a job, they don't have much money. Okay? For $47, you can get this course and six bonuses. You get a bunch of PDF files to go with that, so it supports, you know. You listen to me, and I dive deep into each and every one of these areas, okay? I commend you for listening, and I hope this has added value to your life. If you're watching this in YouTube, I want you to subscribe to my channel. And if you think you have gotten value out of this, just go ahead and smash the like button, okay? And I wish you the best in your job search. And if you do exactly what I've told you, you will see doors start to open. Thank you very much, and go ahead and take that course. It's only $47, okay? Thank you. Bye.